Hello, Mr. Yu. My name is Cody Slocum, and I'm here to present to you my analysis of the Chinese fireworks industry as it pertains to your recent proposal from your family in Luoyang. To begin, I'd like to take a look at your personal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as they pertain to this possible venture. Let's start with your strengths. As an MBA graduate, you definitely have the education and skills necessary to enter into this type of business investment. The fact that you're an American-born Chinese man also gives you an insight into both the Chinese and American cultures that others might not typically have. I also believe your current success with your chain of gift stores in New York gives you the experience and business acumen also necessary to do well in this industry. The fact that your family resides locally in Luoyang, I believe, will also give you certain networking avenues that might not be available to someone from the outside. As with any strengths, there are also weaknesses to be considered. Your unfamiliarity with the fireworks industry as a whole will definitely need to be strengthened. Your distance from where the factory would be located could also present certain operational problems. And the fact that you're not familiar with the government regulations and how vast they actually are will definitely warrant the need for some legal guidance. That being said, there are many opportunities to look at. Your relatives are people that you can trust, and that is a huge advantage over that of strangers. The startup costs are low with the initial inventory purchases as well as labor forces. Even though I mentioned your residence in the U.S. as a weakness, it could actually be a benefit as well if you were to choose to focus on the exporting or importing side of the fireworks industry. And your personal involvement with this business investment would be fairly hands-off. As with any investment, there are also threats that need to be considered. Many learn this the hard way, but sometimes mixing business and family can lead to less than desired results. Your focus on your current business could possibly be diverted depending on how much involvement you need to have with this new investment. There is a large amount of competition that needs to be recognized. And government-run factories have tended to become more of the norm than family-owned workshops ever since 1949 and a stricter regulation on fireworks industry. Overall, however, we do believe that your opportunities and strengths clearly outweigh your weaknesses and threats, and this would still be something that will aid you. Let's move on to the fireworks industry itself. While at first glance the chart may seem relatively neutral, I believe the conditions are actually favorable. With less bargaining power of supplier and less threat of substitute products, the market is prime for profits, and profits being the key word. Where we can really find profitability in this industry can be split best into two categories, the best and the worst. For the best, the money really is in display firework company and wholesale dealers. Some of the worst examples in the industry are general merchandise stores and exporting side of the business. Taking everything into consideration, it is my strong opinion that you should definitely invest in Luoyang. The potential is clearly there. You have people you can trust to oversee the operations, the startup and labor costs are low, the materials are of high quality and in abundant supply locally throughout Luoyang and abroad, and it is obvious that fireworks are here to stay as they've been here for centuries already. Also, last but certainly not least, the USA is the #1 importer of Chinese fireworks. If you are going to take this opportunity, I would suggest that you invest in the actual Luoyang factory. You can take over an existing factory or find a new one. Use only high quality materials in production to keep that Luoyang name brand known. Also take the time and investment to employ nothing but the best of skilled workers. You will also want to focus on direct sales to wholesale dealers and display fireworks companies both locally and abroad. In order to get started with this investment, you need to follow the following action steps. Verbally accept the offer with your relatives pending a signed legal contract, and be sure to include in that contract the roles and responsibilities of all parties involved. The next step would be to research government regulations and startup requirements, for example, funding, licensing, insurance, initial inventory, and building location needs. Then you would naturally need to find and secure a factory in Luoyang, whether it be an existing factory or if you'd be building new would be would need to be determined. The fourth step would be to procure raw materials and supplies inventory. This will be crucial to naturally beginning your production. And the last step would be to hire and train the necessary amount of factory workers so that you can begin production immediately. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear this presentation. Should you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me directly.